Jasas Melena Niels Iversen, kerto in mia bibliotenias din dimotiki. Auti glosa in poli genosti stindania jatis danies lexis kita grammata in gnosta jati proto. Kreisimo piont stis sedikis epistemes. Alla oligarchisme dani architon mathon tinalnika ke an mathon jelnika den mathon jelenika modern alla i kini og i archer jelenika pragmatica 6 euro an in hypokreortico jatus theologos na mathon kini Ilada in spudioskopos turismo jatus danus Athena rodu kriti ke ho pistevo audita grammata ke i tromaktiki fimi ti marvadagia ti archers glossas miartelidas din kini din archer Elenika qui myriades semios diacriticus anas din dimodikia qui mono enatono che i oxia che i morfologia din dimodikia dan in poli mechali tu mani de problema ine oti Elines detus raison idanias lexis ja afto qui poles lexis na ekmathon ecco praspasi na matho tin dimodikis prepusto chrono octonta alla den olocleusi tin fitissimo alla ecco accorasi america biblia che sto dio mila efter xana archisi na masi aftiti glossa che poresa na risimo pios te biblia her tu in tu larbok in grekiska tu Jani Mistakidis grapsis din svedika che no exoco ridio me polygrammatiki og to en af Langenscheid Hellenika Germanica ja to glossariamo og to spontan en af diaforetico lexico jati Aki ligger lemmes eller leptometes big SS. Omos kan ikke akkurat i godt lexica. Og to en Langenscheid Elenika Germanica Elnica kan ikke det er jo lexica to Rolf Hesse. Og to en lexico Danica dimodiki to ikke dosi Danica Moskva ki to synkrono eleni Danico lexico to tis ekdosis pataki After in grammatiki Greek, an essential grammar of the modern language, synecdosi Routledge, in a calutera grammatiki tis dimodikismo. Alla den borina mathi mia la classe mono apud ta lexica prepina de vasa prepina accusa cati autoin to vivlio rodos, to nisi to ilio. Τον έχω αγοράσει σαντιμία τον ρόδου του χρόνου 50 όχι 4. Αλλά δεν μπορέσα να το διαβάσω. Όταν αρχίσα να ξαναμάθει στον 2007 την δημοτική, αρχίσα και να κοπιάσω και μεταφράσω τον ολοκλήρο βιβλίο από την σελίδα 1 στην σελίδα 159. Στην σελίδα 1 δεν μπορέσα να καταλάβω τίποτα. Στην σελίδα 159 μπορέσα να διαβάσω με ευκαιρία. Όμως δεν έχω ακούσει αρκετός προφορικού λόγου. Έχω ταξιδεύει γι' αυτό 2 φορές για την Ελλάδα στο περίοδο που σπουδάζω την γλώσσα. Την Καστοριά στην 2009 έχει μετά 4 ημέρες στην Ελλάδα επιτέλους αίσθημα ότι ήμουν έτοιμος για να μιλάω την δημοτική. Αλλά ο 5η ημέρα έπρεπε να έφυγα στην Αλβανία. Okay, την επόμενη φορά. Αντίο.
Hello. This time I have tried to murder modern Greek called the Demotiki, the popular language. It's called the popular language because there was also something called Katharevusa, the pure language, which harked back to older stages of the language. The kind of language you find in the Bible translations made by the 70 learned people, Septuaginta, is called Kiani, and it is full of diacritical signs and a lot of grammar. And Old Greek, Ancient Greek, is even worse. It's one of the most complicated grammars in all of Europe now, and then worse than Latin twice. But I have only tried to learn the Demotiki, and I have tried it already around the year 1980, but I stopped when I stopped learning language altogether. Then I also stopped learning Greek. I did get away from my excursion into the Greek language with a couple of good books, which I still like and still use, and I've showed them in the Greek section. One of those is a lærebog i nygrækiska. It's a Swedish book made by a Greek and full of grammar. When I started to relearn my Greek, it was an excellent point to start because it has got words, it has got grammar, and it was not one of those dumbed down modern textbooks. I also had a couple of dictionaries which I needed for my word lists. One from Langenscheid, an old Langenscheid. I've also got a new Langenscheid, that's a yellow one. But the old one was just from Greek into German. Besides, I had one English-Greek dictionary, or rather vocabulary, by a man called Donald Swanton, with few words but very good information about those words. I'm not going to read any part of it, but if you want to know the difference between different words in Greek, you need to know what each word means. But I also had to read texts, and for that purpose I took an old book I had bought as a souvenir during a travel to Rhodos in the mid-90s, and Rhodos, the island of the sun, and I started at page 1. I copied every sentence and translated it. Later I dropped the translation because I
more or less understood it. And at the last page, 159, I was so far that I could more or less read it. I used a dictionary, but I could have read it almost without a dictionary. I don't know what this method is called, but I've heard it described it in one of my earlier videos on YouTube. The one called something with copying. I would like to mention a couple of books more. One man called Rolf Hesse is the man behind both a Danish Greek dictionary and a Greek-Danish dictionary. And considering how few Danes learn this language, it's amazing that he has been able to pull off that trick. Another good book, Routledge, the Essential Grammar to Modern Greek. I have also other grammars, but this one is the best of those I've got. One of the other ones I've got is written for Greeks, and it's rarely a good idea to buy a book written for native speakers. It will put stress on stylistical things and things that are irrelevant for the learner, for the second language learner. But this is some of my Greek books. But books are not enough. Not even if you use them like I've used this one and other guidebooks. You have to listen, and that's a weak point of my language learning. It's not easy to find places to listen to Greek in Denmark, and not much on the internet, not compared to Spanish or German or English or something. So I have visited Greece twice while I've been studying this language. First time I went to Delphi, Athena, and northern part of Peloponnesus. And there I bought some books, but I could not speak anything yet. The second time was last year when I passed from Serbia into northern Greece, visited Thessaloniki and Florina and Castoria. And on the fourth day in Castoria, I long last felt that I was ready to start to speak the language. Unfortunately, I had to go into Albania already the day after, so I didn't really make a one language holiday. I hope to do that next time I visit Greece, and there will be a next time. Goodbye.